RWP is brought to you by Porch Beer Entertainment.
You seen those videos of like Matthew McConaughey in a Zoom meeting with random people?
Yeah,
like,
it'll be like
I feel like
a
they
sales meeting
like
and then he'll
celebrities
show
just
up.
get like a pass to like jump on any meeting, and it's like you can't be upset because you're like, oh my god, that's Tom Hanks. Like,
What if
you
they
know,
accidentally schedule that and right before the celebrity gets on, somebody like announces to the meeting like, "Hey guys, I just want you guys all to know that unfortunately I'm going to be stepping down as your boss. I'm actually moving to a different company." And then
or
like,
they're like, listen, we didn't find any work for you guys. We're gonna have to let you all go.
yeah, this program unfortunately is going to be ending at the end of the month. Contracts actually run out early, and Bill Murray is on our Zoom right now. Hi, Bill. And everyone's like, "Wait, what did you say about the contract?
You all don't have jobs, but here is
I don't give a
Matthew
fuck
McConaughey.
about Bill Murray. Am I going to be employed next month?" And Bill Murray's just like, "Oh God, what am I doing here?" I think that would be because people try funny stuff with like celebrities. Our job, so my job at my work, my boss will occasionally do activities like where he'll bring in one of his friends for something, and I think he uses our company as kind of like a testing ground for that person. Like he brought in a friend who's a DJ, and so this DJ came into our small office with like his equipment and like did like a
How have you never brought this up?
Because
you had
I
a
didn't
live DJ.
because
DJing
I
in the
left
office.
because I left like halfway through the meeting because I was like, I can't be in here for this. This is too awkward. Because listen.
And now I would like to read the meeting minutes from last meeting.
No, you don't understand how awkward this got. At one point, he was like, "We're all gonna make a song," and he actually recorded like girls in my office like singing. They like came up with a song and they like sang, and he like put like beats behind it, and like that was the day at work that day.
Sell that book.
But it wasn't even like work related. It was like weird lyrics. Like, I don't know. Like, it was weird. I left. I told you I left. I was like, I can't be here. I'm too uncomfortable. So I went back to my office.
That literally seems like a skit that they would have in a show like The Office or something. Like,
it was so bad.
It doesn't seem real that that's like a good idea for management to be like, hey, I got this buddy. I'm bringing him in to try out DJing in an office because, as everyone knows, you know, general offices are a great place for DJs to start. The environment's great. There are people dancing constantly. There are drinks.
I was looking through to see if I maybe have the recording somewhere.
Was he a good DJ or bad? I bet there are bad DJs. There are some really bad DJs.
Yeah, because anybody can call themselves a DJ. You know, like there's certain.
I hit the Spotify playlist for the last Halloween
and like
party
there's certain guys that actually have. I mean, if you can call it talent, where they like know how to properly mix a song together, and like they do all the little like stuff on the thing, and they can actually DJ, like DJ Hero. Remember the video game DJ Hero? I had that.
Yeah. The two spin tables.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, there's that movie with like Zac Efron where I didn't watch it, but I saw like the previews or something.
Where he's like a DJ.
Yeah, he's like down on his luck and like he wants to make it big as a DJ, and like the whole concept of like when you go to those, I guess, like festivals or whatever,
it's just
and
to
it's
do
just like
drugs.
There's no band, and there's just this guy that comes on stage, and it's just this table with a bunch of buttons, and he just stands there and goes womp womp womp, and then hits a few other buttons. I'm like, you do realize like all of that can be done.
People get up for that stuff, man. They put like paint on, like glow sticks.
He's like leading this whole like charge, and it's just him smacking on the buttons. But like, there are some bad DJs out there. Did I tell you? This is a while ago. This is like, it was just a really awkward thing. We were at a wedding. I think it's like, must be like 5 years ago.
Right.
And the DJ was like this. Not DJs can be any age, but he was like this.
Yeah, they could be 5 years old.
He's like this 55-year-old man.
Great start.
And he had the whole rig and like set up, and he's like trying to do some weird like freestyle stuff. Wasn't really working, so he's playing some classic stuff. But before they do the,
I thought you said classical. Like he gave up and just started playing classical music. It was like, I got nothing left in the DJ chamber. I'm just gonna play some Bach.
I think wedding DJs, right? Club DJs, wedding DJ. There's a bunch of different areas where someone can specialize in, I guess. But they were doing that thing where it's like all the couples come to the dance floor, and then when I say 1 year, everyone who's not made it a year leaves the dance floor till you get to like the
and then there's
grandma,
always the oldest
grandpa.
couple, and everyone's like,
Yep.
yeah,
and it's like,
50
any words of
years.
advice? Yeah. But before, as that started, he like, and no one told him to do this. He like taps a microphone, comes on. He's like, yeah, I would prefer it if there were no same-sex couples on the dance floor. We want to keep this to man and woman. And then and then like cuts it out and then hits the music again. Like he did a hard stop.
Cuts it out, immediately plays like Lady Gaga, Born This Way.
The bride and the groom were like, they just turned and looked like this was unwarranted.
Oh
and this man just
God.
said that. And I was like, oh my God. And then it was just an awkward, like there's two people who clearly like sat back down and they were the only ones. And it was
like,
just
well, he said we couldn't go up.
And then everyone just kind of stood there and shuffled for a little bit because they're like, the whole mood was just
that
ruined.
changes everything. Nothing like some bigotry to bring to your
just,
wedding dance floor.
It was out of left field. This guy was like, excuse me, man and woman couples only, no same sex. We're like, what was that? Why would you need to say that?
He's like, all right, man and woman couples only. Also, only white people on the dance floor right now, preferably. I was
surprised that didn't come out next. That was just
God.
Literally, like they were mortified that
the racist DJ. That could be kind of like his thing. He's like, I guess not necessarily just racist. Obviously, he's sexist, homophobic,
all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that was buck wild. But
well, I guess would you expect anything less from a 55-year-old DJ? But actually, I would, because usually, like, I feel like an old DJ sounds like the type of guy who's like maybe a little bit hippie and kind of cool.
I feel like he's the kind of guy who like was DJing during like the cocaine era.
Yeah, he was DJing
like, all this
for like
wild stuff.
The Clintons.
Yeah, it's just like, why would like, I don't know. Yeah, I would not expected that from anyone, really. Honestly,
that is. I don't know how I would handle that situation.
You could just do. It's just the whole.
You're the bride and groom, and you're like, oh my God, we hired a homophobic DJ.
Like, the whole process of starting the music, stopping it completely, doing the "is this thing on," saying that, and then immediately resuming as if nothing had happened,
and then just playing the gayest songs ever. that's wild.
There's some bad DJs out there.
Oh yeah,
I just can't believe that I guess your boss was like,
it was terrible. I mean, he's done other stuff like that where he's brought in like people to do like talks, like people that are trying to be like inspirational speakers or whatever. He'll bring them to talk to us first, and like it just never, it just doesn't hit. I don't think I could ever be inspired by an inspirational speaker.
So that Tony
just doesn't work on
thing.
me.
I remember, this memory's coming back to me.
In high school, the guy in the wheelchair.
No, there's a brief period of time where my mom and my dad were really into the like Tony Robbins seminar thing. And we went to DC, and I don't know why they brought us, but it was like the huge like concert hall.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just the guy just talking motivational stuff. But I was just like, I like some motivational like things.
Sure,
like,
there are some levels where it can.
What it boils down to is the whole motivation thing. Is there's only a few that are like really ring true, but like a lot of them is just. It's just telling a personal story of how you're the best and you did it. And like, that means you can too, Timmy, with no legs. And he's like, well, I need legs to run.
Well, we had the drug guy come to Herndon. I remember there was like a guy who was like a former drug addict or something, and he was in a wheelchair. I feel like, but maybe he wasn't.
No, maybe he was in a wheelchair.
Okay, he was in a wheelchair.
But he lost the use of all his limbs. It was doing something It was like peripheral to drugs. He was like, yeah, I did a lot of drugs and led to some bad decisions, and I got in a motorcycle accident.
Every bone in my body.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I feel like we asked him, and it wasn't that he was directly like under the influence when he got injured.
He's like, actually, I had been off drugs for 5 years before this happened.
Yeah.
So we're like, wait. But isn't the whole point of this like to be anti-drug? He's like, yeah. I mean, exactly. I got clean and I lost all my legs. So maybe you shouldn't get clean. Honestly, it's not a good idea.
That whole like it was basically just like scare stories was what their tactic was, which isn't bad, I guess. But at the same time, it's someone up here like there was like. People like wanted to cheer during some parts, but it's also like the whole mood was just so like bad.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah. And it's like you said, the inspirational stuff, it's like there's levels to it. There's some stuff where it's like, okay, that's a nice little inspirational story and like I can get something out of it. And then there's some where you're just like, I'm not going to be that. So I don't really understand. Like, I'm not gonna like the Gary V guy. is his inspirational stuff like has worn me down because he's so prevalent in society. Where like I've seen like a zillion of his videos on TikTok
they just
everywhere.
Like, pop up, and it's just like him always in like a different studio just talking about.
He's always wearing like a gray T-shirt, and he's always like, "Look, man, all I'm saying is you don't really need to go to college. All right, in the 4 years you went to college, you could be a millionaire starting your own business or whatever."
He always says the millionaire thing. He's just like, "It's easy. It is so easy to become a millionaire." And then he's like, "You don't go to school. Yeah, you come up with an amazing idea." And then you sell it.
The videos that he does that kills me are he'll go around to like neighborhood garage sales and he'll somebody will have like a bucket of like old toys and he'll be like, "How much are you selling those toys for?" And they'll be like, $20. He's like, what about 10? And they'll be like, "Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of this stuff." And then he'll like go to the car after buying it and be like, "This is worth $750. This vintage like fire truck." Or he's like, "Those suckers didn't understand what they had."
It's like a weird version of Storage Wars that no one asked him to do.
Because then the guy goes on TikTok later who's like sold the stuff. He's like, "Wait, what the hell?" And he's like, "Gary Vee just made like $1 million off of the crap that was in my garage." And he's like, "God damn it, Gary Vee." He's just a super villain.
Kind of. The Storage War concept was always very interesting too.
Right, where it was like
we did those.
Right.
I bought a storage unit before.
Yeah, where you buy it, but you don't get to see what's inside of it. You can see, but you can't go in.
They open it. You can look and use a flashlight. You cannot touch anything, or you're not allowed to bid on it. It's like a weird thing.
Which is wild because like, what happens if you touch it?
I don't remember if I talked about this, but there was one particular unit, and like I don't know what I was trying. I think I literally just finished AP Psych, and I got a 5 on the AP exam, and so I was like, "Listen, let me tell you how psychology works."
You know how I celebrate a 5 on the psych exam? I go buy a storage unit.
They opened up this thing. I'm not even joking. It looked like it was wall-to-wall computers. I'm talking like the old school computer lab computers. Like there must have been 50 or 60 in there. And I'm sure you could maybe do something with it, sell it. They were vintage, but like everyone looked at this and they're like, "Okay, so I have to carry all of these back and do something with it." I'm not even. It was.
You have to like go rent a U-Haul just to like clear it out. Yeah.
Like the lowest comfortable number I know for a fact, the amount of computers were in there were 50. So there were more than just like what you could see, because
who needs 50 computers?
And I was just like, I told Griffin and Alex, and I was like, "I'm gonna bid on this." And I was like, "Trust me, someone's gonna outbid me." And they were like, "We're not taking this stuff back with us."
Oh my god, there's nothing more scary than bluffing a bid.
Yeah, and someone was, it was so dumb. Someone was like $10, and I was like, and I raised my hand, and I was like $150.
Oh my god.
And then like it got really quiet, and I was like, "Oh,
that's not how bidding works whatsoever."
And then someone was like, "Okay, 160." And then I pushed it. I kept pushing it till it got to like $200. And then thank God.
Haven't you watched any sitcom ever?
Yeah, and someone came in over the top and bought it. But like it was the dumbest thing. I had no stake in this, and I made someone.
You didn't even have the money.
$200 on a storage unit full of old computers that don't work anymore.
See, this could have been your like Steve Jobs origin story. You could have been like, "I bought these 50 computers, and next thing you know, I started Orange instead of Apple." It's like I started Orange Computer Company.
Or like
it's not a bad name, actually. Yeah. Trademark that. We said it on the show, so it's trademarked. Let's start the show, in fact, because we got a fast food cast to get to, Salty Dalton. And I'm pretty excited because we've got a lot of food talk here today. We're going to go over some facts about fast food. I'm going to give you the weirdest fast food items from around the world and ask you if we should bring it back or not.
Am I have to guess where they're sold?
No, it's just more of like I'm going to describe it to you, and you're going to tell me if this should still exist. Okay. And then the last segment, we're going to build our ultimate fast food meal. So we're going to I'll tell you the categories later on. But here we go. We'll start the show, and then we'll get into this here. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Random Word Podcast. We're back, people. It's been a month.
We're back. Yeah, we're back.
It's been a month. Unfortunately, we were all scheduled to do a show, and then, of course, I had to get food poisoning.
Yeah, no.
It was pretty bad. I got food poisoning.
No, you go ahead.
Who are you talking to?
No, there's a little bit of a lag, about 10 seconds.
Oh God, what if there was? That would be impossible to do the show if there was a 10-second one.
I know, no, that'd be insane, right?
We are here. Yeah, I got food poisoning
that
when we were
joke would
about
be
to
funnier
record.
if they understood it was a Zoom call.
And I had like scarred my throat from the food poisoning, so I like couldn't talk for like a week.
Oh yeah, I Ashley asked me the other day. She's like, "You guys haven't podcasted?" And I was like, "Well, Ben like died briefly."
I like
and
couldn't talk.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, I could, but it hurt to talk, and it lasted like a week, a full week or week and a half, something like that. So like, we were ready to do it, but I couldn't do it. But you know what?
Because I got part of that because I had a
you got sick too
with you, and like I was like, God, I was like, I don't want it to be COVID, and like I did the testing over and over
so
again.
Did I was worried about COVID too.
It's that time of year where like it's also getting colder, and the slightest tickle in your throat, I now automatically assume I'm like, hey, this is it. It's COVID. I'm done.
It's like either COVID or strep. Like those are the two. Because I had it
used to be the flu, but you know we kind of just. I feel like
we never really get the. I mean,
so
I don't want. This isn't like I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
No,
okay.
The thing is like I don't run into people who have had the flu
right
recently. The last person I knew that had the flu was Ashley like 4 years ago.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
we get the flu shots and stuff, but like, I just don't know. Like, I feel
maybe
like
that's why
I'm not in contact with a lot of people that get the flu, which is probably good. But I haven't had it since I was like 8.
Suddenly, we become like a conspiratorial podcast. We're like, the flu doesn't exist. The government invented it
to make money for Gary V.
I saw real quick before we get to the fast food cast. I saw a guy on TikTok say that Henry Ruggs, who, in case you aren't familiar with sports at all.
Yeah. I was just talking to one of my fantasy leagues about this.
So yeah, Henry Ruggs
roasting him.
Was a wide receiver for Oakland. He ends up drinking and driving and actually gets in an accident and going like 150 miles an hour.
Double the legal limit. He was driving 150 miles an hour right before, and then the impact happened at 126 miles an hour.
And then somebody unfortunately died in the other vehicle.
And a dog. There's a dog inside there too.
So sad. It's an extremely sad story. But what I was going to say was there's a guy on TikTok today, not to make light of the situation, but he was talking about it, and he was saying, he's like, you know why this all happened, right? He's like, you know how they made everybody on the team get the jab, right? You know, the vaccine, right? You know why they got they wanted to take down Henry Ruggs because of the mind control or something. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and move to the next video. It was wild.
He's a garbage person.
I'm telling you, we should create a conspiratorial podcast where all we do is
I feel like it wouldn't be that hard because you know how much like following that the pigeons got, right? Pigeons being fake, like and not like
birds being fake in general. Yeah.
Like the whole birds are a lie.
Birds aren't real.
And there's like a million people following this.
There's like billboards that will say like birds aren't real.
That's what I'm saying. Is like there's a guy who invented a religion, like a recognized religion.
There's been a lot of guys that
it's what is it called? It's pastafarian.
Right.
Where they wear a pasta strainer on their hat, and he got like
as you do.
He just. And I'm sure like you can make money from that. But this guy invented this religion. It was the joke thing, but then became super popular.
You can pretty much do anything. And that's why we love America. And another reason why we love America is fast food, Salty Dalton. Let's start with some facts. Actually, that's our call center music, and we do have some calls later. So we're going to get into some we'll do some funky old school beat here. All right.
Before we jump into the fast food facts, it reminds me. Remember Super Size Me?
Yes.
So I don't know why, but my mom loved watching that movie or documentary. I guess.
Yeah.
I must have seen it like 18 times.
That's kind of weird.
It was a really weird It was
I've seen
over
it once.
a 2-month span, but like I understand the concept of that, but also like. I don't know. It seemed somewhat unrealistic.
Also, nothing really was accomplished. We still have McDonald's.
What's gonna happen if I eat? It was like a 6 months or something crazy?
Oh, I thought it was only 30 days, but maybe it was.
Oh, maybe it was 30. I think he gained a lot of weight, but he was just like, some people are forced to eat McDonald's every single day for every single meal for their whole life, and I was like, I don't think that's true.
I don't know. But I mean, there's a bigger points, but it was 30-day period, February 1st to March 2nd, 2003,
there we go.
During which he ate only McDonald's food.
Every meal.
And it was talking about how, how it affects not only his physical, but also his psychological well-being and all this sort of stuff. I mean, it was a wild movie. And
it was, yeah.
And the funny thing is
Spurlock, I think was his name.
Morgan Spurlock, yeah. And he did a follow-up. He's done a couple documentaries, but like, yeah, I mean, the funny thing with fast food is like, nothing has changed. And now we have more.
It's not good
let's
for
just keep talking over each other. No,
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say real quick. And now we have YouTube videos where people will buy every item from a fast food menu and eat it in one sitting.
Just to do it, yeah. It's just, but like going into it, like, I'm sure there's no one on this planet, I think, that would literally go, eating at a fast food chain every meal, every day.
A good idea. Yeah.
That can't be. No, everyone knew it wasn't good for you, but then he just went and did it anyway. And the doctors were like, your liver's failing and like all this crazy stuff. He's like, well, I got to finish the documentary. I was like, what is this? It's not doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, nothing really was like, accomplished by it. You know, like I don't feel anything changed.
Yeah. And if they asked him if he wanted to supersize it, he had to do it.
Right.
And I was like, also like, you're buying like insane meals. Like you didn't even have a budget to like mimic what people might be living off of.
And they don't even have the supersized stuff anymore, right? Like I think it's just like
I heard there was a secret menu where you could still in some McDonald's. Yeah, but
I bet. And then there's there's some places where like their large is or their medium is basically a large. Like Wendy's, you get a medium soda, it's like humongous. So yeah, it is what it is. But let me hit you with some facts. We'll cover some facts about fast food. McDonald's is the world's largest toy distributor. Because
I get it. Yeah, the Happy Meals.
Yeah, because of the Happy Meals.
I guess that makes sense.
So they're technically the largest toy distributor. 37% of U.S. adults consume fast food every day. 37%. I feel like it could be worse.
Yeah, that's probably a lower number than I thought. Because like people are out at work, they're grabbing a meal. Middle of the day sort of deal.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like I know a lot of people that maybe go get breakfast, like fast food breakfast every morning during the work week or something like that. And it's like, yeah, it's not the best idea in the world, but, you know.
It's a quick fix, yeah.
It is what it is.
So how do you define a fast food restaurant? I don't know if we'll get to that, but like, does it have to have a drive-through or is it you can get your food in a short amount of time? It does not have to have a drive-through.
No, because like I think because there are plenty of chains that don't necessarily have, like, for example, like, some of them do and don't. Like Arby's, for example. Like I've been in Arby's that don't have drive-thrus and Arby's that do. That's like fair. Over by me is the fast food, and us, both of us, over by the convention center. That's the fast food village or whatever, where there's like 10 fast food restaurants all in like a block radius. It's insane. And some of them have drive-thrus, some of them don't. Arby's had, if you recall, there was that photoshopped ad at Arby's. It was on TV in 2014, and it was basically showing all of Arby's meat options, and it was a Photoshop sandwich. And then customers began asking for that sandwich that they saw in the ad, and it became an actual sandwich on their menu called the Meat Mountain from Arby's.
Oh my God.
It's literally every meat that they sell at Arby's in one sandwich.
I didn't know that was fake at first.
Yeah, it was
they were
just like a Photoshop ad.
Making an insane sandwich, and they were like, this is Arby's, and people were like, yeah, that looks pretty good, I'd take one, please.
Subway was once sued for short sandwiches. If you've heard the story, of course, they have the foot-long sub. There was somebody that measured their sandwich. It was 11 inches, and they literally sued Subway, and I believe they won.
Yeah, they did.
I think they won. They settled. Maybe they settled for something.
They settled out of court because but it's one of those things where just like, okay, because they were there was no asterisk, they were advertising foot long, and the person was like, by your definition, you did not sell me a foot long, and you ripped off like 100 million customers.
It's one of those things where like I feel like I wouldn't like the person that sued them. Like I feel like they are probably an asshole, but I also kind of like the spirit of the suit. We're being like, hey,
sure. I mean,
just like with chip bags, where you buy a bag of chips and it's like a third filled.
90% air. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
There's a guy that built a raft out of potato chips to prove how much
I'm not
air
surprised.
He built a legit raft and paddled across a lake to prove that there was so much air, and with enough of them, you would be buoyant. And
I'm not surprised.
He literally just sailed across the lake.
There's nothing more frustrating. You buy a bag of Doritos or whatever, and it's like, all right, great. There's 15 chips in this bag, and the rest is just air. It stinks.
Because like when you grab it at first, you're like, "Oh, this is a full bat," and then you're like, you shake it, and then all the chips disintegrate.
Chipotle's a little hit or miss with that too. So Abby and I started getting the large bags of chips because they basically have the amount of chips that you would get in a regular bag, or you're supposed to be getting in the regular bag. Because when we used to get just the regular chips,
fold it over like all the way down, and it's just like this much of chips in this big of a bag.
Oh, I've gotten a bag of Chipotle chips initially where there was maybe 10 chips in there. Like, it was like, what the hell am I paying for? So now we get the large, which they really stuff, and then I can never finish. Soda fountains sometimes contain fecal matter. A 2010 study found that 48% of soda fountains at fast food restaurants contain coliform bacteria, commonly found in feces. Microbiologists from Hollins University don't know how it got there, but suspect it may come from dirty cleaning rags or unwashed customer hands.
What are you cleaning in the kitchen that has shit on it?
That's a good question. It's a good question. But just know, every time you go to that soda fountain,
if you were using the bathroom rags, which I hope you're not using straight up rags for, but like, how does that come in contact with the soda? That's terrifying.
Taco Bell was sued for calling their taco filling meat. In 2011, a law firm in Alabama sued Taco Bell, saying the chain's taco filling couldn't be called beef because it contained more oats, seasoning, and fillers than meat. And the case eventually was dropped. I will say, Taco Bell fought back, and the case was dropped. So good for Taco Bell. They won.
That's not a good look for them to have a very tight legal battle over the fact that it might not technically be meat. Like, that's not good.
No, never a good for your restaurant to really have that.
Taco Bell's always one of those places that it's like, it's amazing in the moment, and then, there's Ashley.
Oh, hello, Ashley. No, you're right. You're right. We're talking
but like,
about...
as soon as you finish it, you're like, that was
It hurts my stomach. Yeah, anytime I've gotten it, it's always hurt my stomach. Does fast food really never decay? You may have heard that the Big Mac from McDonald's can sit for as many as 12 years without any sign of decay, which many have pointed to as evidence of the fast food's unhealthy qualities. Apparently, the burgers don't rot. Wait, it's good.
Does that still mean they're edible?
Serious Eats found that homemade burgers also don't rot given the right conditions. So basically, they're just saying, like, you can make anything not rot if you just put it in the right conditions. But I don't know if that's the point of the...
No, I mean, I'm sure any vacuum sealed type of device would probably help.
But a lot of them, I think it's because of all like the stuff that they put in there, you know, all the extra like chemicals and things like that. That's why it doesn't rot. Let's see. That's not that interesting.
Have you? What's like a fast food place you haven't been to in a very long time?
I mean, Taco Bell's honestly probably one. I haven't been to Taco Bell in years. I mean, we don't even get fast food that often. I occasionally will get breakfast from Burger King, actually, because there's one on my way home from dropping off Lucy at daycare. But I haven't gotten like a lunch from Burger King in probably like a decade.
Yeah, I don't think we really don't eat a lot of, almost maybe like twice a year at like an actually fast food place. But Burger King is the one place I have not been to. I think I'm almost up to 16 years. So last time I had Burger King.
That's a good streak. Yeah.
Basically, the first time they introduced chicken fries to now, because I remember I would eat those in like middle school and stuff, and then I have not, like, I will pick any other place other than Burger King, and I don't know why, but I decided that was like I won't go there.
Yeah, it's not great. Now, I will say that burgers are actually better than some other fast food burgers just because of that char or flame broiled or whatever, but it's still not that great.
The ad with the flamethrower and he was lighting a grill on fire is pretty intense.
Yeah, it worked. The ad worked. Let's get into the weirdest fast food items from around the world, and are we going to bring it back or not?
We have that power, right? We
have the power. If we say it on this show, it will happen.
Okay.
All right. Starting with Pizza Hut, a cheeseburger stuffed crust. This appeared in the Middle East in 2012 and expanded eventually to the UK and beyond. I don't think it's in existence anymore, but a cheeseburger stuffed crust at Pizza Hut. Do we bring it back or not?
I say yeah. I remember seeing a lot of posts and stuff about that, and I have yet to try it. And I feel like when they say cheeseburger, all that means is just cheese and hamburger meat in there, and there's already stuffed crust pizza. So
I'll show you what this looks like too.
One extra step,
because it's actually pretty wild. It's even more in depth than I thought. Where it's literally like 10 burgers surrounding a pizza. So those are all burgers.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that maybe I'm thinking of something else. It was just the regular crust, but it was stuffed in there. That's an actual cheeseburger as a handle.
Yes. There's
so you
10
eat the pizza, and then you have a whole burger to get to.
There's 10 burgers that surround a pizza.
How
Do you still want to bring it back?
Yeah, I probably still would.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty good. It's weird.
Because imagine you're holding the burger, and then you have a little hat on top that's just pizza.
I feel like, for some reason, burgers and pizza, they work. They work in my mind.
I mean, they both use cheese. Sure.
Next up, from Burger King, the Mac and Cheetos. This was fried mac and cheese that's coated in Cheeto dust, added nationwide in 2016, came back in 2017. So it's fried mac and cheese that's coated in flamin' hot Cheeto dust.
Hard pass.
So
you bury that.
Interesting.
Well, because I've had fried mac and cheese burgers before. There's a place in Harrisonburg that I forget what they're Jack Brown's.
Okay.
They do like this burger, and they put a mound of fried mac and cheese. Like, remember those wedges we used to get at college?
Yeah, mac and cheese wedges are great.
It's basically that on top of the burger. Great. I am not a huge Cheeto guy, and so first of all, the like
I'm a big
what you
Cheeto
have
guy.
already, the mac and cheese stuff, fried, great. You don't really need to mess with that, and then you're just throwing it in crushed up Cheetos, and that just ruins it for me.
Oh,
like
see,
Cheetos aren't that good where I want to eat Cheeto.
I'm bringing it back.
Gross.
I love flamin' hot Cheetos and Doritos and all that stuff. I went through a phase during the pandemic where, during the quarantine and stuff, where I would buy flamin' hot Cheetos. But here's the thing, because just like with regular Cheetos, it gets all over your fingers. Flamin' hot, it's even worse.
Chopsticks.
I use a spoon. And I would
eat
spoon
Cheetos with a spoon.
Flamin' hot Cheetos, yes.
I thought you were gonna roast me for the. I saw a thing about the chopsticks. I
No,
used
chopsticks
the
is brilliant.
on the cheese puff things. I like the cheese puffs.
No, it's
like
smart.
The actual puffs. But a spoon. You're
use a
just
spoon.
spooning Cheetos in your mouth.
Yep, that's exactly what I did, dude. Actually, no. What am I talking about? I didn't just use a spoon. What I would do is I would take the chip clip, and I would use that. So, like, a chip clip that you use to close a bag.
I mean, I appreciate the engineering. Like, that's smarter, but
because it's like it has a pincher.
Yeah, but don't you crush the Cheeto when you do that?
No, you just don't. Push it down.
Put your mouth on the chip clip, or you dropping?
No. You like. Well, it's a Cheeto, so it's long, and you just grab it by the middle, and then you just stick the one end in your mouth. Next up, the McDonald's Gracoro burger. This was in 2012 in McDonald's Japan, and the patty consists of a breadcrumb crust that was stuffed with macaroni, shrimp, and white sauce. So there was no beef. It was no beef patty. It was macaroni, shrimp, and white sauce surrounded by breadcrumbs.
White sauce?
That
sounds horrible.
It sounds pretty bad. This was in Japan. McDonald's Japan.
I don't want to bring that back personally, but I know that. So, because every franchise, I guess as a franchise, you can kind of just do stuff that you want to do.
Occasionally, yeah.
I think for a lot of those places, but
especially overseas. Yeah.
Overseas, I would probably say that their fast food in a lot of those countries are actually I would say maybe the equivalent of it's almost like an actual they take more care.
The quality of the ingredients is sometimes better.
Way better. And so they might be able to get away with that.
Right.
But if I rolled up to the McDonald's down the block and was like, let me get that shrimp white sauce nasty burger. And
it sounds pretty. And shrimp kind of scares me at a fast food place. No. Any sort of seafood doesn't sound good.
No.
Okay, so we're both saying no. Do not bring it back.
Stay away from fish fillets too. Absolutely not.
Smart. So we're saying don't bring it back. All right.
No. Hard
KFC. The Double Down Dog. This was in the Philippines in 2015. The Double Down Dog was basically a hot dog with fried chicken as the bun. And there was also cheese sauce kind of on it. So basically it's a bun made of fried chicken, and then you have a hot dog.
So you just have two pieces of fried chicken and a hot dog in
No, not one. They manipulate it into one piece. So it's like one folded over piece.
So it's a taco. It's a hot dog taco.
Yeah, it could be
chicken.
that's fair.
Well, they did that whole debate. Is it a sandwich or taco for that?
It still
Taco Bell
rages
thing.
on, that debate.
It's not a debate in my eyes. Because
What
if
do you
it's
think?
a wrap, you can do it. You can call it a wrap if you roll it all the way across. But there's no two distinct halves, so it can't be a sandwich.
If you say so.
Yeah.
It's the double down dog.
Man, I really wish we lived somewhere other than America sometimes, because some of these
boring.
menu options, like, I would probably go try that.
I'd probably try it too.
But I don't want it. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Keep it. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Well, because America raised that ante when they were like, let me give you 2 donuts as the bun.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
And then an actual burger in between.
Yeah, that's a different level.
Like a donut and a burger, that's excessive to me.
And they do some donuts with fried chicken in between too. I've seen
that. For some reason, that works a little bit better because you can do the chicken and waffles bit
that's
at
true.
breakfast.
That's true. Had some of
so
that
those two, I would prefer that over a sopping, greasy burger in between 2 donuts, because I love donuts.
I feel like you're gonna like this.
I would not eat that.
You're gonna like this next one here.
Okay.
Taco Bell. These were the Captain Crunch Delights, and it was a breakfast item in the United States in 2015. Yep. They're basically little pastries that were coated in a fruity crunch berry cereal, and the center was a sweet milk icing.
Bring it back. I bought so many of those.
It sounds delicious. I never got it, but it sounds really good.
They're no different. They have on their menu. We just went to, when Mandy, number one Rando, was in town.
True. Shout out.
Yeah, we went to Taco Bell one time after we were all hanging out, and they have these Cinnabon Delights, which are essentially the same thing, except it's just like cinnamon sugar around the outside of the little ball. But the Captain Crunch was much better.
I mean, I like the sound of this, so I would say bring it back. I've never got a chance to try it, so bring it back.
Well, you missed out, man.
We've got 4 left. This one comes from McDonald's. It's called the Chicken McDo with mixed spaghetti. This was introduced.
Mixed spaghetti?
This was introduced. So this was first introduced in the 70s in the U.S., and then it was brought back in the Philippines in the early 2010s. It's basically a piece of fried chicken next to spaghetti with marinara and cheese, and this is from McDonald's.
I mean, that's buck wild to me, because like that's so far out of the range of what you would expect there. I would like to see that back.
I would like to see it back, because
we've all had pasta at buffets, or like, oh man, what's that like at school cafeterias? Those noodles that they have with the marinara.
It's so
I feel
bad.
like McDonald's cannot make a worse version of that, and I feel like there would be a time where I might be drunk or just really needing some pasta, and we're at McDonald's, I'd be like, perfect. I had to stop eating
the school one, because there was one time I had it and the sauce just tasted off, and it like almost made me sick, and I was like, I can never get the spaghetti with sauce ever again here at school. There's something weird with it.
Our elementary school failed their health inspection 3 years in a row.
There you go. That's a record.
And so 3 separate years, I would go, and I'd got their hot dogs were moldy and stuff like that. And I had gotten one with that, and I was like, okay, gross. And then they had like undercooked nuggets.
Oh, that's so nasty.
And I got sick from that. And then one of the last years, I just stopped eating the cafeteria food in elementary school until middle school, because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I got a salad because I was like, there's no way they could fuck this up.
All right.
The salad had moldy cheese and made a ton of people
bad.
sick.
Why?
Yeah, it was awful. It's just like, you're feeding this to children.
I used to love getting the pretzels, and then I would bang it on the table because it would be so hard.
Do you remember those little packets of pancakes?
Yeah.
They sold like it was like 8 pancakes. They were mini ones, and
then like a little cup of syrup.
And you would just dip and dunk. Yeah, those are great. French toast sticks too.
What was the best school? Like, what was the best thing at school cafeteria?
The smiley face tots. Those smiley face tots. They're stuffed cheese sticks. Those
I never really messed with the stuffed cheese sticks.
Those smiley face tots, and that's pretty much it.
I loved when we had the wraps where you could go get a wrap.
Or the spicy chicken wrap, like the spicy chicken buffalo chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that was great.
That was exclusively my only meal I bought for probably a year and a half.
Oh, it was so good.
Plus, that line was never full, so you could just walk into the sandwich line, and it's separate from the rest.
Was you go in the sandwich line because they also had other snacks in the sandwich line.
Yeah. You get
like
cookies,
cookies,
you get like little
stuff.
like tater tots. It was great.
Oh, yeah, you can get whatever you want.
It was the best of all the lines in one.
This next one comes from Burger King. This went very viral back in the day. It was in the early 2010s. Burger King Japan based this burger on an anime character. It consisted of 2 black buns, their regular beef patty, a hash brown, and special sauce, and had a giant piece of bacon sticking out to look like a tongue. It was the Black Ninja Burger at Burger King in the early 2010s. I remember seeing this kind of on the internet at the time, the Black Burger, and I think, if I recall, people stopped, like, it kind of went away because people would be, like, pooping, and their poop would be black or whatever, and, like, people started getting worried about what it was doing.
So this could be TMI, but it's something to do with, like, the dyes, the dyes they used to make it that way.
Right.
Because I had a cake, like a sheet cake one time that had it was just like a normal sheet cake, but it had these, like, really wild colors in it, and it did horrible things to my body, but, like, the color wise, like, I honestly almost went to the doctor, and then I was like, no, I did have this cake, and I remember that being an issue, so I was like, it's probably fine.
It happens, because then there was a Burger King also had the Angry Whopper, where it was red buns, and it had hot sauce baked into the buns, and then it had, like, jalapenos and a spicy sauce, and, like, I feel like Burger King just messes with the colors a little too much. I feel like that's what happens with them. We got 2 left. We got from Taco Bell, the Kitkat Choco Dilla. This was in the U.S. in 2017. It was a tortilla with chocolate and Kit Kat pieces in the middle. So it was basically a quesadilla with Kit Kats in between. I never saw this, but it happened in 2017 apparently.
Wait, repeat that? It had what?
So it's a tortilla with chocolate and Kit Kat pieces in the middle. So it's a Chocodilla at Taco Bell in 2017. I don't remember that being a thing. I feel like I would have gotten it.
I don't either. I feel like even though I don't go to, I feel like that would have been one of the few things to make me, like, worth trying. I feel like I would have tried that.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. And then last but not least, the Taco Bell Waffle Taco. This was in 2014. It was basically a breakfast sandwich where it was like a folded over waffle.
I did get this, yeah.
And you could either get bacon, eggs, or sausage and eggs. And it was like Taco Bell's attempt to kind of get into the breakfast game a bit. That was the move, the waffle taco.
Our discussion there, I was messing with my phone because Nick and I were texting because we're going backpacking this weekend.
Right.
But I didn't I just saw it had popped up, but I guess I hit something when I was putting it down because I was focused on the show. But it hit the record button, and so everything we just said populated into like a 6-page message that I'm deleting right now. He's like, what time should I get to your house? And it responded with, yeah, I don't know. That sounds pretty wild. I could have sworn I would have bought that. And, like, the dye did weird things to my body. It was like everything we said for the last 2 minutes.
It's like, are you okay, man? Are you all right? Let's get into the ultimate fast food meal. I have 5 categories that as we build our ultimate fast food meal. The categories are, you're going to provide a burger, nuggets, fries, a sauce, and a specialty drink.
And so basically, we're building this out of existing
fast food restaurants. Yeah, exactly. So, like, for example, this is not what I'm going to say, but I'm saying, like, for example, for your burger, you could be like McDouble. And then, like, for your nuggets, you could be like Wendy's nuggets. So,
have you built the McGangbang?
I do know about the McGangbang, but we need a burger.
I would eat that constantly. Okay.
We need a burger specific. So we'll start with the burger.
Okay.
So this can be any fast food burger that exists. So it could be like a triple Whopper or a regular Whopper or
Wendy's,
a McDouble or any of those things that are currently on the menu.
Bacon cheeseburger.
So you're just going to go straight up Wendy's bacon cheeseburger.
Double. Well, no, dude. They have better. I used to get their junior bacon cheeseburgers, get like 3 of those, like sliders, but I think their bacon cheeseburger has something going on. The double and the triple aren't that good. It's too much.
Right. And they say, like, there's a big conspiracy about it. I think it's at Wendy's, but maybe it's somewhere else where instead of getting the larger burger or whatever, if you get the smaller one and just get multiple of them, you get more meat and it costs less.
Yes. Because I would
some
get
sort of hack
3
with
of the
that.
junior bacon cheeseburgers for the
I think
same
that's
price
what
as
it
one
is.
of the
I think that's
larger
got to be what it is. So Dalton's going to go with the Wendy's bacon cheeseburger.
I just like Wendy's. I think Wendy's makes it's not like.
I like a Wendy's burger for sure.
Like Wendy's, it's not like, I don't know. I don't feel as like bad eating it, but like out of all like the like Burger King, McDonald's, like their burger options, like I'll eat at Wendy's over those two for burgers specifically.
So with Wendy's, there's a possible route I could go here with the burger. I could look at the what do they call it? The
Wish we had a fantasy draft board. We could just
one,
put up like
Well, there's the one with like a ton of bacon on it. That's
the
like
Baconator.
The Baconator could be in the mix. It's not a bad idea.
It's solid. It's a good move. I actually enjoy the Baconator.
There's also
do we consider Five Guys fast food?
They could be concluded on this list if you wanted to.
No, that's too hard.
But
Five Guys, I feel like is in a separate category because you actually kind of wait a long
it's
time
like,
to get your food.
Sit down casual is like Five Guys. All right, so I'm gonna go.
It's like it's semi fast food.
I could go Big Mac.
That's a classic. The Big Mac is. I mean, it's been it's like the staple of. When
I'm gonna
you
go with my
think of a
heart
burger,
here.
you think of Big Mac.
I'm going with my heart. This is what I usually throw into my McDonald's order.
Okay.
Where I'll usually get like their nuggets, but I'll add a McDouble. And
so McDouble is a great choice. That was my second one to go.
It's not too much. Oh, jeez, I'm like pulling the computer with me. It's not too much where it's like overpowering, which is why you kind of get it like a side in a way.
Well, it's $1, yeah.
And it's like $1. It's cheap.
Like a throw-in burger, and it's one of their best burgers.
And it's not that bad. It's not bad. And so yeah, I'm gonna go with McDouble for my burger. So salted almond with Wendy's, bacon cheeseburger. I went with the McDouble. We'll move on to nuggets. So you have to put in a nuggets onto.
I will go Burger King chicken fries. Those are technically nuggets.
Yeah, that would count.
Those were my favorite possible fast food item I've ever ordered in my life.
And it was interesting because Burger King, for the longest time, didn't have nuggets. They only had chicken fries. Now, I think today they technically have nuggets that you can get. But back in the day, chicken fries were the only chicken like nugget type thing you could get on their menu, and they're not bad. I used to get those too. If I ever went to Burger King, I'd get.
And they even had I like the packaging because you flip open the top and it had the pop out thing where you could put the sauce in there, so you could walk around and just
perfect
dip. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's a good. That's actually a really good option.
You can take it if you want. Yeah.
No. I got to go original here. So actually, there's a couple different directions I could go. So I will say McDonald's nuggets are not my favorite. I would say like they're okay. I'm not a.
They do the job when you're drunk and you want.
You'll eat them. Yeah. They're not going to be in my number one. For my number one, I'm going to have to go Wendy's spicy nuggets right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the spicy nuggets that Wendy's has.
They're actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think now spice wise, they're not that spicy for sure. But
no, because I can handle them. Yeah.
They do the job. Wendy's nuggets have always been appealing to me. I get the honey mustard. You dip them in that. I'm gonna go with the spicy nuggets for my nuggets.
That's a good choice. That's a solid choice. Yeah.
Your meal right now includes the Wendy's bacon cheeseburger and the Burger King chicken fries. I have the McDouble and the spicy nuggets. For fries, now you have to pick fries. And keep in mind there are places beyond just McDonald's
Arby's
and Burger
curly
King.
Fries.
Okay, I was just gonna say Arby's is not a bad idea.
Their curly fries are probably the best fast food French fries I've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to argue that.
I mean, because like Taco Bell did bring back like nacho fries.
yeah.
Which was interesting, but I still have to go with the Arby's curly fries.
I think you have to. And honestly, like I can't come up with anything better than that. So I think I have to kind of copy you and go Arby's curly fries too, because McDonald's fries they have to be hot and crispy, otherwise they're terrible.
I like my fries with a little bit of give, so not like rock hard.
Sure,
I like them.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's why I like the curly fries, because you get like you can kind of stretch them out like a spring.
Right. Oh yeah, no,
and
the
you
curly
get some
fries
of the curly ones with the crunch.
Oh, and the seasoning they put on there is so good. It's like Burger King fries are not that great. I
like Wendy's fries.
Wendy's fries have gotten better
as much as Arby's. Yeah.
Now Wendy's do you see they're doing that promotion? I've seen the commercials where they're like Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Like if you don't like them, like you can get a refund or something. It's like what?
What are you gonna drive back through the drive-thru?
Or if like the fries aren't hot and crispy, bring them back and we'll get you a new one or whatever. It's wild. Now,
that's nuts.
Whenever they say those things, you always are like, well, are they gonna actually do that? Like is my local
banking on the fact that you would have this social anxiety to not walk up to the front, stand in line, and go, I bought these and I need new fries.
They're like, oh, you mean the fries that you bought, drove home, and then drove back here with aren't hot and crispy anymore. You want different fries now?
Right?
Huh?
Yeah, the person could just shut that down. They'd be like, "Well, all I know is they were hot and crispy when we handed them to you."
Yeah, they could easily say that. No, nothing beats Arby's curly fries. Like you just can't. You can't. Now Chick-fil-A fries aren't bad.
Ooh,
Keep in mind the waffle
I haven't
fries.
Even thought about Chick-fil-A.
I know Chick-fil-A hasn't even entered the conversation.
Oh my! What we made a mistake. The chicken nuggets.
The nuggets
I would have
are really
immediately
good.
gone back and did. Oh, that is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, people are going to be pissed.
Chick-fil-A chicken nuggies.
You know what? I may have to, instead of us both having curly fries, I'll go switch to Chick-fil-A fries.
Those are, I mean, honestly, those are, they're right there.
I mean, remember when Chick-fil-A's first started like appearing when we were kids? It was like a revelation to get waffle fries. It was
it changed the game.
It was like, where else can you get them? You know, like it was like waffle fries were nowhere else. And it was just mind blowing to get it was the same thing like when Five Guys came, and it was like, this is like, where can you get this greasy ass burger and like a pound of fries?
It doesn't matter what size of fries you order. They put the cup in there, and then I watched the man add 3 spoonfuls to a
They are
sopping
trying
bag.
to give them away. It's like they're laundering fries. Like there's some weird shady thing.
Well, because you walk in there and it's just wall to wall. Like they just have sacks of potatoes on the ground, and it's like, oh,
they arrive every day. Because on the wall it would say like, today's potatoes are from like, like Hackensack, Idaho or whatever. And it'll be like, okay, cool. And then it'll be like, yeah, we have another shipment from a different town coming tomorrow. So we need to get rid of as many fries as possible today.
I think that's got to be what it's like. A big potato is like paying them to move potatoes as fast as possible. The only reason I didn't pick Five Guys fries is I like them, but I have to add salt and a little bit of vinegar to make it like my blend.
Right. You have to do a lot of adjustments.
The stock
to them.
fries that they give me, they don't compare to Chick-fil-A or Arby's.
Yeah. All right. So sauce.
Ooh.
So sauce. So you're gonna have to. I mean, before we answer, let's think about it a little bit, because we don't want to leave somebody on the side. So, McDonald's. I never was a big sauce guy with McDonald's. I never really liked their sweet and sour or any of that stuff. Burger King, I can't even think of a specific sauce there that's good. I will say Wendy's honey mustard is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Chick-fil-A, we know the famous Chick-fil-A sauce. It's really hard to beat that.
Well, they have Polynesian. They have
I like their
mustard,
buffalo sauce a lot.
Ranch, yeah.
And then like Arby's,
Ketchup.
you got horsey sauce. You got and some of the other ones there. So there's a lot to choose from here. You have to choose one sauce for this meal.
There's I don't know what they call. I feel like there used to be like a special sauce you could get specifically for. You'd have to ask for it. I think I'm probably going to have to go with Chick-fil-A sauce, but only because I can dip nuggets, my burger, and fries in that and still have a good time. Whereas if it were just ranch, I don't know if. Well, I don't know, man. I guess you could dunk anything in any sauce. I'll probably get Chick-fil-A sauce.
I feel like go with Chick-fil-A because like I did the Chick-fil-A fries, and you haven't picked anything from Chick-fil-A yet. So go with the sauce. My sauce routine, especially when I go to Chick-fil-A, is I get 2 buffaloes and 2 honey mustards.
They have buffalo too, yeah.
And then at home,
you mix them?
I take my no, I don't mix them, but I get my paper plate and I open up both of those sauces, and in the middle I put ketchup. And here's how I do it. I get with my nuggets, I dip those in the buffalo sauce usually. My fries are usually ketchup or honey mustard.
Yeah.
And then like when I start running out of one of the sauces, then it's kind of like a mix and match thing. I'll mix them up. But typically nuggets are usually just a buffalo sauce dip for me.
Honey mustard is one of those sauces where you can get away dipping fries in it, because honestly, if I saw you just dipping fries into regular yellow mustard, we'd have a problem. I would feel weird to be around you.
No, honey mustard just changes the game. And the funny thing is, I did not have honey mustard until I went to college, and at George Mason, they would have.
You did grow a lot in college.
Well, yeah, I didn't really ever have ranch much or honey mustard much. I was strictly a ketchup guy for most of my life.
You also never ate Chipotle in college.
Right, well, that's true too. But then at college, in the middle, remember with the sauces, there was the dispensers in the middle of the cafeteria area or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it had like ketchup, honey mustard, ranch, whatever. And like I started experimenting a little bit and being like, wow, I've been missing out on
the game has
a lot.
changed. Yeah.
Because that's why, I mean, honey mustard, I'm going to go for my sauce. I'm going actually with Wendy's honey mustard. If you haven't had Wendy's honey mustard before, there's those little like pepper flakes or something within the honey mustard that adds a little different taste to it. And it works really well with the nuggets. It works really well with the fries. Wendy's honey mustard is going to be my
solid
sauce
choice.
there.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we will hit up the specialty drink category. So this could be specialty drink / dessert. So, it doesn't have to necessarily be a drink if it is, it just has to be something that's not a food, right? It's like, so there's a lot of different ways you could go here.
Oh, like a McFlurry.
It could be a McFlurry, a Frosty. It could be the ices at Taco Bell, or the slushies, whatever you get there. Yeah, whatever you get there. I mean, so you need to pick one specialty drink or dessert.
Does Potbellies qualify as fast food?
I think they're also casual sit-down. There's no...
They are casual sit-down. Yeah. Okay, so I'm between two at a personal preference right now. The Chick-fil-A milkshake, I think, is incredibly hard to beat. But Wendy's actually offers root beer floats.
I've never had the root beer float.
And I would always get a root beer float from Wendy's because it had the Frosty in it that they would put.
Oh, God.
The Frosty and then the root beer over top. And those are like two of my favorite things.
Right.
I'll probably go Frosty root beer float.
Okay. So Wendy's root beer float Frosty. Wendy's root beer float Frosty. Now, you made me start thinking of milkshakes. And I've got to say, I think the cookies and cream or Oreo milkshake at Chick-fil-A may have to be the move because that was the great thing.
We didn't even include Cookout. Cookout has like 82 flavors of milkshakes, but the last one I had there was I got like a New York cheesecake. Awful, horrible.
Oh yeah,
horrible.
Screw cheesecake, man. No, and that was a cool thing at college is we had the Chick-fil-A there. And the line was always long, but it was like, man, if you got there in the off peak and you went and grabbed after class a nice milkshake on your walk back to class when it was hot out. There were those
dead times where you could just zoom past.
Oh, it was so good,
and just grab it.
So
and
here
Chick-fil-A didn't pop up till like our senior year. Like we were without it. We had to go to OG Berg to get any type of shake type.
That was the move. Here are our ultimate fast food meals for Salty Dalton. We start off with a Wendy's bacon cheeseburger. We move into the Burger King chicken fries. You accompany that with the Arby's curly fries. You dip all of this in your Chick-fil-A sauce while drinking and eating your Wendy's root beer float Frosty. Yep. For me, you have your McDouble with your Wendy's spicy nuggets. You accompany that with some Chick-fil-A waffle fries. You dip all of this into your Wendy's honey mustard, and while you are drinking an Oreo cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A.
I honestly really want all of that right now.
Let us know your thoughts in the video or in the YouTube comments or the Instagram posts that we will put up of the episode when we announce the episode. Go ahead and
we'll put a disclaimer up. We missed like Sonic and
we missed
all that
a
stuff,
lot.
but like it's also like what's been close to us growing up, and like the nearest Sonic used to be in Winchester, which is like a 45-minute drive.
And it's still far away.
And Cookout, the closest one was like Richmond.
Yeah. So we're not.
We just didn't go there enough to like get to try all that new stuff.
Right, and I've had Whataburger. It's
hard to beat the staples.
Ian Corn-Fed when he's listening to the show. I've had Whataburger's really good, but I've only had it. I only had it like once or twice. In-N-Out, I've only had once. So it's like those are not places I've been to consistently.
Jack in the Box is basically.
I've never been to Jack in the Box.
Burgers, yeah.
So
I've been to those places, but I just don't think about them very much.
Right. Here locally in Northern Virginia, we don't have a lot of specialty restaurants like that you can't go get other places when it comes to fast food. Before we wrap up the show here, I think you're getting a call. If you don't mind
it's Nick after that text message. Hello, Random Word Podcast.
It was interesting how you were talking to them while the phone was still ringing.
Yeah, it must be that delay, that Zoom delay. Yeah.
Welcome to the call center, people. You can always reach out to the show at the Random Word Blog at gmail.com. That's the Random Word Blog at gmail.com. And on today's episode, we got a couple emails here, so let's get into it. This one comes to us from David from Austin, Texas. David says, Gentlemen, if you could own and operate any fast food chain, which one would it be?
Let's see. Honestly, I think it would have to be something like a Sonic.
Right.
or a Checkers, where like, because like the way that's set up is like very few people go inside of that. They go with
you're in your
you have
car.
the gimmick of like, I would put people on like all sorts of weird devices to deliver food. I feel like that keeps you far enough away from the customer where you're not really like have to deal with it a whole lot. Right. I think I could have a lot of fun running one of those. Like it would be pretty wacky, and I could make up my own menu items and just not tell the big chain what I'm doing. I might offer scallops or something weird.
Yeah, I think like you said, the idea of taking a fast food chain and like adding your own little nuances to it, I kind of like that.
I feel like that's like a low key enough one where there aren't at least near me there aren't a ton, and so I would be one of the few.
Right.
So I would have free reign to kind of do
one
it.
Of the few,
I would be
the proud, the Marines.
with like the same company.
I think well, here's what my idea is. I want to own and operate a Chick-fil-A, but I want to make it a mean Chick-fil-A, and that's part of my branding because Chick-fil-A's are so nice that it's my pleasure and all this sort of stuff. I'm going to own and operate the meanest Chick-fil-A in America, and that's going to be part of the reason why people will come. Like,
maybe they're tired of having people dote on them hand and foot.
All my employees are going to be trained.
Slap in the face after they order something.
They're going to be no physical violence, but the employees are going to be trained to be like, like, what do you want? Like, why? Oh, fat ass! You really want another burger with that or whatever?
Constantly get their order wrong too.
Yeah, orders wrong almost every single time. I
asked for a number 5. Well, you looked like you needed a salad.
Yeah, this is what I gave you, so this is what you're gonna get. And they're like, but this is more expensive than that. It's like I don't care. I just work here. I want to own and operate, and I'll brand it as that, the mean Chick-fil-A.
And you should also change around, like, you can order number 1s, 2s, or 3s. Change those numbers every day.
Right.
And so when somebody orders a 5, it's now a 1. And when you bring it to them, you point to the menu and be like, I don't know what you want from me. I'm not making you anything else. You can come back around and pay for a new meal.
And the drive-through takes forever because the employee just doesn't care. That's my David from Austin, Texas. That is my fast food chain idea. We got one more here. Judy.
A mean Chick-fil-A. I think you could really have something.
I think it could actually take off. This is Judy from Denver. Judy says, are there any items that you wish were on fast food menus that aren't currently? Like something that you wish you could get in like fast food form. And I'll tell you, I've got one immediately that comes to mind. I'll go first here.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Spaghetti. Pasta.
I was literally thinking that same thing from what we talked about earlier. I was like, there is no place where I know it's not going to be great, but like there are certain times where I'm like, a bucket of pasta will just hit the
think
spot.
About like all they have to do is have the buffets like they're at the restaurant, and all they have to do is scoop that buffet stuff into a box and give it to you.
You take a chicken sandwich you can get anywhere, slap a little mozzarella cheese on there and some marinara. There's your chicken parm.
I want my fast food. Yeah, exactly. And you can add, like you said, you can add meatballs to it or a chicken parm to it.
The Italian fast food market is something that no one's ever done successfully.
Sides of garlic bread or garlic fries or whatever,
Garlic fries?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's got to be it.
Were basically, they're handheld. You could do a bunch of mini I don't like calzones personally, but well, I guess you could. That does border the line into the pizza realm, though.
Yeah, the calzones might be tough, but I think
I don't consider pizza fast food though, because
no, I wouldn't consider
it's an ordering kind of mechanism.
It's its own thing.
It's a different. Yeah, I think you have the best answer. Absolutely.
I think it's got, and you can get different types of pasta. You get your penne, you get your spaghetti, whatever. You just line it all up there.
Basically an Olive Garden to go. Yeah, just something like that. Yeah,
and like you said, it's not going to necessarily taste that great,
no.
But
you know that going in. Yeah.
I'm in line in a fast food drive-thru and I'm getting spaghetti. Like that's the thing. And you could get little packets of Parmesan cheese or whatever.
Eating that while you drive.
And then some places are going to have better parm than other places. Or
I think
that's
a fantastic answer. Yeah, it's got to be the one.
I think we've made a lot of progress today.
Yeah,
absolutely. We talked about some facts about fast food. We talked about some fast food items from around the world and whether or not we wanted to bring them back. We built our ultimate fast food meal.
You know what I always say? Supersize me. Am I right?
And now that you said that, now you have to go get the largest thing at a McDonald's. You said it like that's part of the curse.
It is. Yeah, you're right. What if I just had fries in my hand? Morgan Spurlock's
every time you say it just appears.
Beating me. Yeah, you have to do this.
We are glad that we could come back to you guys, your ears. We'll be doing the show more regularly again. We just had to miss, since we do it bi-weekly. When you miss one of those, it becomes a month. So that's what happens when you get food poisoning.
Yeah.
But you know what? We hope you enjoyed this one. The Fast Food Cast will be back in a few weeks. Be sure to check out our new sponsor that you'll hear at the beginning of this episode. Salty and Dalton and I are going to actually record this after we finish this episode. I just texted him the script that we have to read. We are going to record our first ad for Anchor that will be at the start of the show so we can start making money.
The one I signed up for?
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to record the ad.
I haven't logged into that in forever, so you have to log in? Good.
No. Okay. I've got it. Cool. So you're going to hear that ad at the beginning of the show. The more times you guys listen to this episode, the more money in our pockets. So be sure to listen as many times as possible. And you can always email the show, the Random Word Blog.
Where are we putting the ad? Beginning,
at the beginning. Yeah, you'll hear it. You'll hear it.
That way they're forced to listen to it.
Exactly. And then, the randomwordblog at gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, the Random Word Podcast.
You know what would be interesting is if we did an ad throughout the entire show and like just out of like randomly be like, and that's why I use a purple mattress, and then don't talk about it for 5 minutes and then continue pieces of the copy throughout the entire episode.
And then like if we had like a sponsor, then we just send the whole episode to them. They'll be like, okay, which part was the ad? And you'll be like, the whole thing. This whole hour. Yeah,
you have an hour worth of.
We did everything you guys asked for.
Advertisements.
So we'll be back in a couple weeks. Follow the Instagram, email the show, support our sponsors.
In the flow of the episode, we are talking about the ad that we will air, that will have already aired in the beginning. I like that. That's
exactly.
Cool. Yeah.
We do
that every time.
It's very meta. It's
it is.
It is what it is. That is Salty Dalton. I am Ben. We will see you next time. This has been another episode of the Random Word Podcast. Sayonara, my sweet, sweet suckers.
We outie.